Yes, we're live. This is the Man United Agenda. I'm joined again by Alas Smith and Jones. It's like the two of us. That's the two of us, Mr. B. Everyone's on holiday. Everyone's booked their holiday. Rebels away, and Solo's away, and the Pats away, and everyone associated with Man United Agenda are away. So just me and you in the broom cupboard, and we'll be going for all the transfer updates. Join us. Mr. B. I was looking at the views we had yesterday. Fantastic. Thanks everyone for tuning in yesterday to our little dialogue we had about transfer news. And even though we didn't discuss Ratcliffe, that was on the title. Thanks, Errol. Maybe that pumped up. But yeah, we appreciate you guys. I know the season's over, but we're still here to talk football, aren't we, Mr. B?
Of course.
And Mr. B, how was your day today? I mean, how did it go? Just give us a little summary of how you're feeling. Because you look calm, you look relaxed.
I am calm and relaxed. The season's finished, man. What is there to stress about, to be fair? You know me, I get the last part of the season, the internet was giving me grief, so I couldn't even do the watch-alongs. But look, I'm you know me one day, man. I just take life easy, man. I'm just ready to talk football, man. I'm ready to talk, man.
It's like you've changed your background, Mr. B. Now you're doing it from the sofa, which just to me, you've got your feet up and you're relaxed.
I'm in chill mode, total chill mode one day, boy.
I know you've got brothers and big family, Mr. B. Do you feel like proud of your season? Do you have a lot of bragging rights right now, especially over your Stoney, your brother?
I've got bragging rights over him. My other brother's actually a Villa supporter, so he's happy. I tried to cuss him about Thursday night football and being in the Conference Peer Cup. He's not having any of it. He's absolutely delighted. So, yeah, it's Stoney who's going to get the dig in. As long as we don't go out in the group stage, then it's all good. It's all good. I don't want to see Thursdays. Last 16.
You got a Liverpool fan, his brother. You got Villa cousins or brothers as well.
Yeah.
So it must be mad in the household as well. I want to big up a few people on the show. I want to big up Bath Time Before, one of our favourites. He's saying, all right, lads, seeing the Anthony stuff. Yeah, we heard a few rumours. Might touch on that. Michael Hills saying he's feeling calm and relaxed or high as a kite. Oh, actually, calm and relaxed or high as a kite. I'm not sure. I say a bit of both, maybe, when it comes to Mr. B. Rebel saying here, will you be deflecting to Tottenham now on Monday? Guys, stay tuned. There's news coming out. Good evening to Zoe Media House. Zoe, very active at the moment on Twitter. I'm not on there much, but I've seen you very active and tagging me, and I love your stuff, love your content. Go and check her out on YouTube, guys. Zoe Media House. Brilliant stuff. Barton saying, I hope you've got cement shoes on because you look like you're about to take off, Mr. B. Oh, God. Everyone's going in.
See, I'm chilled, man. Let's go. Oh, man.
You don't say you're chilled. Just say, I don't know what.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I'm post United. That's what I am. I'm post United.
Rebels saying here, we don't address active investigations on the channel Bath Time. We let due process be carried out. Yeah, that's right. We don't want to sort of get into any sort of allegations here. Bath Time saying here, do that for the takeover then. Okay, all right. Bath Time's so slick with his tongue, isn't he? Sometimes I come at Bath Time, I think, right, and then suddenly he bites back with something witty and funny. So Bath Time, you're a real tough guy out there, man, when it comes to social media. Paul Tierney, how you doing? He says, I want Fred and Maguire out. Gold Digger X, yeah, Zoe's jumping in. Bart saying here, hi guys, hope you're doing well. Everyone's jumping in, and any news on Anthony? Yeah, he's a good player. He's played for Brazil. That's as far as we know on this channel anyway. Guys, we've got news today. Hope you're staying tuned. It's getting like 10 or 12 now joining us. Make sure you press the like button. We're going in all things Man United on the Man United agenda. And I've got some news for you, something that I want to really sort of big up about. Here we go. Now, Spurs, bad season. They were in and around the top four, weren't they, Mr. B, for a long time. But their top goal scorer got 30 goals. But they just couldn't really, kick off a good day this season. And they've sacked their manager. They had a caretaker manager towards the end of the season. They sort of dropped down. I don't even think they got into Europe. It got really bad towards the end. And they're looking for a new manager, the Celtic manager. Now, what do you know about him, Mr. B? I know he's Australian.
That's it, Postecoglou. Not much, to be fair. He's done the treble in Scotland, which isn't too difficult. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
He does know the Asian market.
Yeah.
I mean, they
left the striker, didn't he?
Kyogo.
You're good with the name, man.
Yeah. He scored a hatful. To be fair, I'm sure he scored over 30 goals this season. So he knows that side of the market. But they talk about attacking football that he plays. So it'll be interesting to see what he does at Spurs. I mean, he was 8th choice, 9th choice.
Oh wow.
He's on a 12-month rolling contract. So let's be honest, it's not going to cost him too much to get him out of bloody Celtic, is it? You know, so look, good luck to them, but boy, whew.
Well, the news is that apparently he's interested in Harry Maguire. And there was a question mark about Harry Maguire. Obviously, he cost £80 million, but the question mark was who's going to want to buy him. Apparently, Aston Villa and Spurs are sniffing around Harry Maguire, and I don't know what the price tag is. I'm going to come to you on that, Mr. B. But what do you think about this? Is this a good move for Spurs, and would it be a good move for Harry Maguire to go down to Spurs, no European football, but maybe get first-team football?
Well, he does need first-team football for one. Spurs is probably his level, to be fair. Anybody who takes Harry Maguire knows what they're going to get. I'm going to use your words. He's a full international. There is soft stuff that he does do well. I mean, it depends on what style the manager's going to play. Now, if Postecoglou, I don't even know if that's his name. If the new Tottenham manager wants to take him, then by all means, take him off our hands. And any move away from the club is going to be a good move for Harry. It just depends on where he wants to go. I know, obviously, David Moyes has been sniffing around him, but they're not going to pay the wages. I'm not sure Tottenham are going to pay the wages, to be fair. But as we keep saying on the show, he's a full England international, and I think he's an absolutely fantastic player. He'll be. You're working yourself now. Oh, I wonder, man. You know what? It's you, man. He does need to leave the club. On a serious note, he needs to leave the club for his own sanity. He does need to leave the club. Whether or not it's a European team, you might want to play European football. You know, and then United, let's be honest, it's not, if somebody comes in for Maguire, you kind of take what you get. You can't really be going in there and demanding an extra 10 million or we don't want him for this. We might have to be stuck with him again. So if Tottenham come in with, 30 mil, is that taking a piss?
Oh, so Mr. B, guys, is saying 30 million.
Oh, no. Oh, that said it a bit loud. Yeah, all right. Look, it's 30 million not enough?
Take 30 million after paying 80 million for an England international who's still number one for England. That's cheap.
Yeah, no, I understand it's cheap, but I'm looking at what Tottenham would come in for. I mean, look, if we have two clubs in for Maguire, great, but I don't think we're going to get two. You know, so if they put a price, I don't know. I mean, I would more say
bidding war for Harry Maguire, England international.
No,
no,
no.
I've got half time saying 30 million is a piss take, basically.
Okay, so Bob, can we, guys in the chat, Yank talking smack, long time no see, man. Harry Maguire, Tottenham know that he's not first choice at our club. He's a full England international, and he's good at headers.
Wait. Don't end there. I'm going to give you a little segment here, Mr. B. I want you to be the salesman to Spurs. direct video link. Pretend I'm Levy, and just give me a little spill on why I should buy Harry Maguire. And take away, obviously, don't take away all the negative stuff. So give me a spill. Okay. Hello, Mr. B from Man United Agenda. I hear your agent, Harry Maguire. What's he got? Why do you want to send him to us, and how much?
He's a full England international, and he's had a whole load of caps. Manchester United missed him. when we had everybody in the Europa League final, and he's a full England international. He's good at headers. Is it okay? His passing back to the goalie is great. His turning is so quick, it looks like he's turning slow. That's what I think he's. Oh God! Oh please, Dick. I don't know if anyone's gonna take him on Monday, but look, I'll be happy if anybody takes him. He needs to leave for his own sanity and hours. And hours. He does need to go. I know you can sell him. I know you're gonna sell him. So
all right, let me try my spill. Hi, Daniel Levy. It's Monty Juba here from the Man United Agenda, and I'm the new agent for Harry Maguire. Now, with Harry Maguire, I mean, his heading is immense. He clears everything you put in the box. It's his house. He clears house. That's what he does. Now, you might see some video highlights and think this guy makes mistakes and he's clumsy. But come on, man. You've seen Tony Adams. They used to call him the donkey. You know, this guy's called the slab head. He's just as good as Tony Adams. It's not always about pace with centre backs. The guy can read the game. Look at the big positive points about his game. He's played in the Premiership for a long time. He was valued at £80 million, and we're going to give you a good deal. We're going to go for £50 million. You come for £50 million. What a bargain that would be! Just give us Harry Kane and Harry Winks as well for bath time, just to appease him. And that's a deal. What a fantastic deal you got there. Just shaking it, and that's that. And many a Man United fan will be happy, and your fans will be even more delighted. You've got a lovely stadium in London, and I think it's going to be perfect fit for you. You got Eric Dyer, another slow turning centre back, and
they have to. I mean, we shouldn't even be talking about Spurs, but they must be getting rid of Eric Dyer. I mean, the thing is, they're going to be looking out for players. They're going to be on the lookout for players.
But what's the selling point for Spurs? I mean, to get a Champions League playing football, an international footballer for England as well, when you're not in the Champions League or the Europa League or the Conference League for Spurs, that's a bargain. I think they will be sniffing around. Someone said the Costa Rican market or the Asian market based on their manager's experience, So that would be a great opportunity if they can get a proper England international and he can reinvent himself at Spurs White Hart Lane. Let me just go through some comments quickly on this topic because everyone's chipping in. Like we said, big up to Connor. Connor, I haven't seen you for ages. You've been neglecting us. Connor, you were once on the show, then you just disappeared and you're jumping on again. You're like a bad father, just turning up whenever you want to pop in and say hello. But I hope you're doing well, Connor. Long time no see. He's bigging up all the boys. Bath time saying here, I wish Spurs fans all the best, hearing that defending in the high line exactly the same as a race. 50 million, good riddance, says Taboo. So there you go. That's about right price. Diane Maguire, Sanchez, back three, diabolical. Coach coming from Celtic is really solid. Okay. He's a geek, or he's Greek. Sorry, he's Greek. Says Big G. How you doing, Big G? Dyer has the most passes recorded in Premier League. Maguire is very good on the ball. It kind of makes sense. Okay, so it's a good signing for Spurs. Bart saying I would have wanted him to stay at Celtic, get them deep in the Champions League before making the jump to a big club in England. It's just that Spurs do not fully back their manager, and we have a difficult time.
Fan base. I think it must be fan base.
Because you're saying it's the 12-month rolling contract, aren't you? Matthew Bassett, how you doing, Matthew? He's big enough one in the chat as well. Zoe Media House is saying Maguire to Spurs. I'll book a van delivery for the second-hand fridge. Oh, God. AA is saying here, I doubt whether he can start in that Spurs defence. Wow. Well, for 50 million, he'd have to. Ed Mayhem, how you doing? I saw the other day the Villa bookies were favourites to sign Maguire. So him and Tyrone Mings could be the new England centre-back partnership. Maguire looked great alongside Botman at Newcastle. They like their big defenders, don't they? Even their left-backs are giant.
Yeah.
Bilal saying, I'm scared of Spurs now. It's all tongue-in-cheek, isn't it? Jackie, how you doing, Jackie? The queen of the Man United agenda, the first lady. She's saying, good luck to Harry Maguire and his next club. A good move for all involved, if that's the case. Bart staying here. Maguire to West Ham and get some Macca and some cash. Connor saying here, if we play our cards right and sell well, the net loss for transfers could be under 100 million, which is pretty good. Michael Hill, how you doing? He said, what do we get for Henderson, by the way? Keep it quiet. I'm not sure. Zoe saying here, I'm not going to pronounce his name. That's Mr. B's job.
No.
Celtic manager was smart. He had a good thing at Celtic, looking with the Japanese striker, I think it is. But like many, fall for the Spurs, Chelsea hype train. Is it a good gauge to do well in Scotland? I'm not sure anymore. 30 or 40 million quid. Daniel Levy is a hard negotiator. We've got Bart saying here, Maguire's good at headers, can pass. Okay, here we go. He's selling him. Good at headers, can pass the ball, England regular, and has Premier League experience. Best suited in the back three. Okay, good package, good sell there. You are definitely a salesman. Bath time saying, I think Maguire is in demand and might get 50 million for him. There you go. Yeah, you just don't. I think I agree with that. Bath time saying, Bath time. I think the difference. Sorry, Yank saying here, Bath time. I think the difference is Maguire's out of favour, and White was the best centre back at Brighton when he was bought, because obviously he was 50 million as well. I don't think White is better than Maguire. I don't understand where people say this from. Big up to Miguel, by the way. He has played for 2 Premier League winning teams, that Leicester and Man United. He's saying there. Zoe's saying here, Kane, Maguire, Dyer, collection of fridges. She's really going in. Big up to Colin. How you doing? Good afternoon or evening. All only just got out of work. He's only got out of work 3 hours and 15 minutes. I was supposed to finish. Okay. They're working you, grinding you down, I imagine. Just tell Maguire, Hoddle, and our dealers are still paying for Spurs, and he might go. Stay in your nest. How you doing? Evening Generals gone, but the new manager's gonna be gone by Christmas, he reckons. And McAllister's probably going to Liverpool from Bart. So yeah, Spurs in for Maguire. It's good. I mean, it's not to say like we thought we'd struggle to get rid of him, didn't we, Mr. B?
Yeah. I still think we're going to struggle to get rid of him, but look, the fact that news has come out is positive. No, look, it's positive. I want Ten Hag to be able to clear out all of the shit that he doesn't want at the club.
Yeah.
If that includes Maguire, if it includes players that we like, then let it be done. You know, these transfer windows aren't always about getting players in. There's no way Harry Maguire can stay next season. Let's be honest. He was captain. He didn't play. I mean, even after at the final, he didn't join them players on the pitch. All right, they were all pissed off anyway. But he stayed at the side and kind of watched things as an overview.
Yeah.
So you know, maybe he's thinking, look, his time is up. It hasn't been positive. The last year and a half hasn't been positive for him. And as a player, and as I said, we say, you know, we do joke about it. As a full England international. You know, he needs to be playing football.
Yeah,
he does need to be playing football. Whether it's, you know, Southgate shown that he don't really care what team you play for. You know, whether you're playing for Southampton, Ward-Prowse got into the team. Whether, you know, had no European football. The teams ended up getting bloody relegated. He's picked Pickford in goal, who they barely survived by the skin of their teeth. So he's not bothered what team they play for. So he doesn't have to worry about, even if he's form shit. Doesn't make no difference. When he played for us, he was shit. And he only played 5 or 6 games or whatever he played. So, you know, he will get picked. And I think he does need to go. All jokes aside, he does need to go for his own sanity.
Question for the people in the panel. Well, just you, Mr. B. And question for everyone in the comments as well. Who was the last England international to be picked from outside of the top league? Question for you guys. And yeah, I think Mr. B's racking his brains. Mr. B, while you're thinking of that, let me ask you this.
Was it a striker? Was it a striker? Yeah. Oh, I know who it is. I know who it is.
Who is it?
Played for Wolves.
Yeah.
God, did that get?
You got it right. My God, you've got it right. Well done. Is it in the comments, though? Let me just check to make sure. Not in the comments. No, it's not in the comments. Well done. Well done, Mr. You got it right. Do you want to? Everyone will know who it is. Now that you said that, do you want to let them know who it is?
Yeah, Steve Bull.
Steve Bull.
Oh wow.
Was he a good player, Steve Bull?
I didn't know if he was good enough to play for England, but yeah, fair play to him.
Fair enough. And great for to pick someone from outside of the top league in the championship, whatever. That was way back in 1989, 1990, that sort of time.
Jesus
just for the World Cup. Anyway, so can I ask you something, Mr. B, about this Maguire situation? Obviously, he was always above Lindelof in the pecking order. Is that because they spent money on him and the managers were kind of forced to play him despite what they might have thought of him? Because the new managers come along now, judged him and said, nah, you're 4th, 5th choice, even behind Luke Shaw now. So do you think Lindelof is a better player? And do you think there was pressure before just to play Maguire based on his feet?
Could well be. I know Rojo did mention something about moaning or cussing off Ollie, saying he's only playing because of, well, he asked Ollie why he was playing, and Ollie said he has to play him, kind of thing. So maybe that is, but I mean, the surprising thing today, look, we brought up Lindelof. Guys, it was a surprise. The best passing stats in the Premier League is owned by one of the Manchester United players. And it would not be one of them that you'll be thinking of. Victor Lindelof. Victor bloody Lindelof. So whether or not he plays well in Ten Hag's system or he suddenly become a great defender, I have no idea. But I think that's amazing.
I think these passing stats, are sometimes a bit overrated, because with the sort of the change of the game now and bringing the ball out from the back, sometimes you get defenders pass it amongst themselves without any pressure, without any pressing, and they're playing the simple pass, the percentage pass a lot of the time. So I think when you look at passing stats, a lot of them are now defenders and sort of the deep line playmakers sort of thing, who play it simple and just pop it around, waiting for a pressing trap to pass it around sort of thing. I don't know. I think he's definitely a good passer though. We've seen with his long passes how he can sort of split, spray passes left and right, and even sort of create chances from that. But well done to him then, anyway, for having a winning stat like that. Just going back to the question, do you rate him? Like I was suggesting that maybe previous managers played Maguire ahead of him, so we thought Maguire was better because of the price tag. But what do you think? Do you think Lindelof and Maguire, how do they weigh up? Is Lindelof a better fit for you?
Yeah, he is for Manchester United at the moment. But Lindelof is another one who said he wants to play and get first team football. So is he going to stay to be back up to Kim, who may well be coming? You know, these are things that you have to think about. You know, he's 28, he's in the prime, and he's proved that he can play. Obviously, this season, I think he's done pretty well. He hasn't made game-changing mistakes, to be fair. Yeah. I mean, he does get roughed up physically. We do know that that's his weakness, you know, and he's probably tried to improve that a little bit this season, but we might lose both of them. We might lose both of them in the summer.
Okay, so that sort of leads us right on to Kim clears out his locker. That's the headline. It's not a question mark. It seems like it's true. Kim's won the league this season with Napoli. He's been highly touted this year. This centre back. We've had a look at him over time and to see what he's got. I did in the last show. I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I did say I don't think he's good enough for Man United, based on you can't gauge what he's doing in Italy to bring him down into the Prem. And I did still say Harry Maguire was probably better than him, but looks like we're interested. Tell us about the clause and tell us what you know about Kim, Mr. B.
We've got 2 weeks to get this deal done, if it's going to be done, for the buyout clause between the 1st and 15th of July, which is nice because that coincides with us leaving out on the tour. I can't remember when we go out on the tour. I'm sure it's like the 11th or 12th. And I'm glad we're going to the US as well. I like when we're over in the US for whatever reason. I don't know what it is. But yeah, he's a big boy, and we are definitely interested. He's in the player of the team of the season for Serie A. Kind of knew he probably would have been, to be fair. And it's the buyout clause. They bought him as a replacement for Koulibaly, and once they realised that how good he was, they've been trying to insert tried to let him sign a new contract. He's not for signing. So we've been linked to him early, which is nice. We know if the deal's going to be done within the next month and a half, I suppose. There's only one thing that's kind of holding up the deal, though. You told me you said to me what the word was. He's got do
it live. I did this backstage. Muffling my word. Conscription. As Emma's saying here, I'll read this out. It's better saves me. Saying, I think we're getting Kim. He's close to doing military service right now, so we don't have him until July. I think they call it conscription. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, we don't do that over here. But it means, they've got a duty to serve for their country and join the army. Obviously, where's he from? South Korea?
Yeah.
So, so you think he'd be a good fit then, Mr. B?
I do. His long balls are like Martinez. See how long Martinez plays those long balls, that he can play balls. And those are things that I look at. I just think he wants one on one side and one on the other side to both do it. So, look, anybody who Ten Hag buys, I'm going to be happy with until they piss me off.
I thought you were a peeping Tom for a minute there, talking about his long balls and all that thing of longer than Martinez. Stories used to say about, I hate that. They used to say that about Les Ferdinand and Dylan Dublin. I mean, what's that got to do with the game? No one wants to know about that, How long they take in the shower, is it? How long who's the longest in the shower? That's the question they used to ask, isn't it?
My God.
Kim's got long balls, says Mr. B. Anyway, it could be coming. What do you guys think in the comments about Kim coming to Man United? Is he a good fit? Why do you guys? Because everyone seems to be an expert on him. I'm not. What is good about this guy? What makes him so good that he's sought over so well? I didn't watch enough Italian football to really be qualified to speak on him, but it seems like everyone rates him highly. He comes with good credentials. His stock is really high at the moment. But will he be a good fit to Manchester United Football Club? And is it just a signing for the market, South Korean market or the Asian market?
Oh, do you really?
I'm asking.
Come on, man. Do you think so?
No. Well, no.
They wouldn't do that.
Kagawa, sorry.
Yeah.
And then we got lucky sometimes. We had a good signing with Park as well.
So that wasn't luck. Come on, man. They do this. No.
He wasn't.
Yes. Yeah. So where did Ruud van Nistelrooy come from?
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. All right. Okay.
All right. Steve Ball, record goal scorer for Wolves, says Matthew Bassett. That's your part of the world. Rojo and Lindelof are good players. Should have played more than a fully fit Bailey. Oh, yeah, we forgot about Bailey as well. He's still at the club. Lindelof has been hampered by having a fridge next to him in the team. That tactics didn't work with his style. He's showing why we bought him in the first place now, says Yank talking smack. Lindelof's passing range is good, but look at the numbers of minutes he's played. He's talking about your stats there. Yes, he's the only player over Lindelof because of the price. Okay, so Senor is necessarily saying Maguire is only over Lindelof because of the price. That's just the manager sometimes is forced to play a player based on his stature. Zoe's saying here, if Bailey is fit and teams like Villa, Everton and West Ham should be busting the balls to sign him, still quality, and if he wasn't injury prone, we would never sign Maguire. Interested in that. If United didn't have Harry Maguire, says Bart, then the likes of Axel Tanzabi, Deshaun, Bernard and Will Fish would have gotten more of a look in. Bath time saying, I think you saw after 14 seconds in the cup final why Maguire was ahead of him. Bath time brings some balance and he's on my side. Thank you, Bath time. List of players who should leave this summer: Martial, Maguire, Donny, Bailey, Tellez, Fred, Henderson, Savage, Iqbal, Palestri, and Alanga. UK Strange, you're upsetting me there with some of them youngsters.
Yeah.
Lindelof is not good enough, in my opinion, says Big G. Big up to Jeff. He's saying, yes, bar antidepressants helped. I don't know where. Is that appropriate? I don't know. Behave yourselves, guys. He's off to the military service and looking like he's cleaning it out. Because I'm in the innuendos at the moment. Because no matter what he'll be somewhere else when it finishes in July, for sure. Comments are flying in. So I asked you guys what you thought about this Kim guy, whether he can make it. I'm looking for some good comments here. Got one from Big G saying Asian players have good work ethic. Kim would be a good signing, not outstanding, good. He's only saying here. Zoe saying I'm really impressed with Kuoa Fushinazi.
That's the striker. Yeah.
Okay. Currently, it's 91 degrees in Texas right now. Wow.
Oh Jesus!
Roasting hot.
What's that in English weather? What's that in
40 plus?
Oh, bloody hell.
Fahrenheit days. If Maguire, Anthony Herbert, how you doing? If Maguire does go, it'd be hard. It had OMONDI crying down the phone at work. I gave him a tissue or something like that. I don't know. And next 10 years, Asians will dominate the Premier League. We're seeing that. Who's that winger from Brighton as well? He's coming in. It's good to see Asian. We're not seeing many Asian players from the subcontinent though, like Pakistanis, Indians to play football, or Somalis. I'd like to see some Somalis in the UK playing. There seems to be a lot of Somalis playing football, but I don't see them coming through the ranks, you know. And Indian players. There was a documentary done a few years ago about Asian Indian players from the subcontinent, and why they didn't make it. I think it's to do with the parents. They wanted them to have better profession, and it wasn't cool to be playing football so much. So I don't know what you guys think in the comments about that, but definitely Oriental players, if they love the game, and we're seeing, like you say, an influx of players now. The work rate, this is what I've heard from people that side of the world, the work rate is like intense. Their organization, they're very good at things, aren't they, in detail. In general, when you look at some sports that Asians play, gymnastics, table tennis, things like that, very badminton, very good, detailed, hard-working players. And we're seeing that. Do you think we ever see a stage where an Asian country would do well in the World Cup and actually win it?
No.
Not in your lifetime?
No,
Okay.
Too far behind. Far behind. Talking about clearing out his locker, just had a tweet from good old Rebels, just sent me one. Donny van der Beek, Fabrizio Romano is just tweeted, Donny van der Beek will explore options in the market in the next week, says he could leave Manchester United. Completely forgot that we had Donny.
Yeah. You're not shocked?
No, hell no. How much are we going to get for Donny, really? 10,
15, I'd say. That's because he's got a lot to prove, and no one knows. You're taking a chance on someone who's had a serious injury. You just don't know what he's going to have. He should probably go back to Holland or Ajax, one of his teams, and start again. I don't think any clubs in the Premiership will really be interested in him. Just talking here about Indian and Bangladeshi have established leagues. Next 10 years, football will be different. It says Zoe Media House. Bart saying Indian and Pakistan players play cricket. That's the one. But most of their parents want them to study, become engineers, doctors, lawyers. And that's probably why we don't see them in the football. Yank talking smack, saying work rate and professionalism is high in Asian countries. Now, in America, Yank's from America, obviously. In America, they say Asian meaning Oriental, don't they? We say Asian meaning the whole continent. I know Americans are good at geography. It's true. They only know America. What's in America? Asian to me always makes me laugh. Say, oh, he's Asian. Well, what does he mean? It could be Chinese, could be Indian, it could be from Sri Lanka. Who knows? You know. So I always try to subcontinent and Oriental or Far East sort of thing. But yeah, I think hopefully we will see some more diversity with footballers coming through. So Kim's on his way, clearing out his locker. And I asked you what he's got in his locker, and we've got a comment here about his game. I just saw it here somewhere. I think it was Emma. She said something. I could ask you guys about the game. No, where is it? I can't find that. I'm sure Emma has mentioned something about how he plays football. No one else would say much about it. But yeah, interesting that. And on the topic of this shame, because we haven't got an adequate squad, but we won't get anything for academy boys that could actually give us some quality. So don't sell them, she's saying here. Donny's a great player, but his presence of Bruno and Ericsson has stifled him as is a rough and tumbled Premier League. Rebel saying here, well, Ji-Sung Park was absolute legend. If Kim is anywhere near that, then we will be doing well, assuming the Glazers. Did he? Bloody hell.
Rebel.
Finally, Japan is on the up with the guys playing in this area, and Germany, Scotland, says Jeff as well. National sport is cricket, so in sports they gravitate to that more than football. Yeah. But again, sorry, last one here saying India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, South Asia, while Vietnam, Japan, Korea, Singapore, Thailand, and Indonesia are the Southeast Asian teams as well. Yeah, there you go. Kim on his way. Next subject, guys. We're getting through this right now. What do you know about this? Hanibal Medri. He had 41 games on loan at Birmingham. Good. Probably his best, more productive season since he's been through his development. He's 20 years old now. And apparently he's been linked with Dortmund. Why, Mr. B? What's going on here?
Well, Bellingham, everything is one thing starts a chain of other things, as they say. Bellingham, obviously off to Real Madrid. They've obviously highlighted Jude. They've obviously highlighted as Hanibal as somebody who they are interested in. Now, my question to you on Monday is: should we be selling him? Should it be a loan if he does go? Or should Ten Hag be looking at him in regards to taking him at least on pre-season next season, because I'm hearing that Fernandez, who got young player at Preston out on loan, he wants to have it, and obviously, and obviously Ahmad are going to be given a chance on the tour to impress Ten Hag. So I don't know if Hanibal would be part of that. I mean, he went out there, he's played 41 games, so he played the whole bloody season. You know, right? He only scored 1 goal, but maybe that's not the side of the game that's not the part of his game.
Yeah.
You know, so what are we thinking with Hanibal?
I think there's got to be some structure to when we send people on loan. If they do really well, like he has, we want them to be playing 40-odd games in the Championship. There's 46 games in the Championship. He's played 41 of them. And that's a tough league, I think. It makes a man of you, doesn't it? We saw what happened with Beckham going to Preston. I really like Hanibal. I thought he's one of the most gifted players that we've had in the academy for the last few years. And I want to see him develop. You always want to see these young guys develop. Just cut your hair. Cut your hair, you know. How do you see? I don't know how these players with big bushy hair like that see. You know, you have got eyes like goldfish, don't you? To see what's around you, scanning and all that kind of thing. I just never did it. I never got that. When I play football, I have to sort of tie my hair up like that because otherwise it's in my face. I'm like, I can't see what's going on. You know, tackled. But I rate him. I rate him highly. I think I didn't see him at Birmingham too much. I'd like to know what Birmingham City fan feels about him, how he played. That's what we like to gauge. You know, when we did that with Garner last season, didn't we? We asked Nottingham Forest fans what they thought of him, and you got a really honest assessment. So I think you're right, Mr. B. I think he's likely to go on tour, and then they can make a decision later after the pre-season, run him about, have a good look at him, and make a decision. But then you have to ask yourself, what happens to Zanik Bell and Kobe, who got games last season? Where are they in the pecking order if someone in that position comes in? We've got a comment here. Big up to Saint Don Bosco. How you doing? He's talking about Kim still. But nice welcome to the Man United agenda. Comments on this guy. I'm missing it now. Big up to Double A as well. Here we go. Bart is saying here, Hannibal's the number 10. So he can play backup to Bruno. Although I'd like to see Ericsson as backup to Bruno. I don't know. I think he's more versatile than that. I've seen him play a lot deeper as well. I think he's talented. I just think maybe he needs to get a bit stronger. I think he needs to be rewarded with a pre-season and then a proper assessment. And then rather than sell him, you know, because you can take him to Dortmund, they're talking about a replacement for Bellingham. So they see something in him that we probably just we're not seeing. Are we not seeing something here? This guy, he's almost the same age as Bellingham as well. I think they're around the same age. We've got a Bellingham at our club that we're willing to just shot on loan, not give an opportunity to. You see what I'm saying, Mr. B? Are we missing a beat here? Because if Dortmund want him and to replace Bellingham,
there must be a reason. Yeah.
You know? What do you think?
Yeah, there has to be a reason. Dortmund tend to get these players, get them in cheap, and get them out young. So yeah, I'm totally agreement with you. I'm totally agreeing with you. There has to be something in there as a player.
Emma's read that most youth are going to get a chance in pre-season. Zoe's saying, I hope Hanibal stays at Birmingham for another loan. He has played well for them, and like others like Chong and Birmingham can go places as well. Yank is saying, Mr. B ain't got no vision problems, that's for sure. With his bald head. Very funny, Yank. You're lucky you're over the face. Tear you up. Bart saying here, Hanibal will be great for Millwall, maybe loaning from Luton or Bournemouth, so he gets some Premier League experience. Double A saying here, Hanibal, Ahmad, and Navarro need to Fernandez need play our first teamers now because Iqbal needs loan game time, but number one else needs to go.
Right. So he's saying take them back in now, and loan out the players who stayed at the club. Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay. I like that. Big up Double A, by the way. That is a good comment. Because they would be above them in the pecking order by age, and they've got more experience now as well. Because these guys only had an odd few minutes here. Zoe Media House is saying, as a Brahmi, I watched tons of Birmingham games, and he's a good thing going there. Big T is saying, keep Hanibal away from Chianti. And all will be good. Is that a joke? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, Chianti. Oh, Hanibal, Chianti.
All right. Good one, Big T. I like that. We like jokes on this show. Double A saying Rio already says we let certain players go willy-nilly when we're supposed to sell and get peanuts for, then we get bumped. He's saying there. The kids, said Emma, don't need to be ready at 16, 17, 18. Some will be ready at 20 to get first team football. Big G's saying here, we've got to start taking a chance with youth players. The historic ethos of the youth of United is youth. So a lot of fans a lot of guys in the comments are talking about this because they like the idea of youth playing. UK Exchange saying Palestri isn't world class and won't be sitting on our bench, you say here. So apart from Ganacho, says UK Exchange, and Ahmad, none of our youth players have impressed me. So I'd move a few on. It's just I don't know. I'd like to keep them. I like to have them around and see them to come through the club. It's nice, isn't it, when you see a youth play come through? That's the thing. I don't want him to go to Dortmund to replace Bellingham and then just suddenly be this great player. And then we're thinking, what have we done here with Mr. Trick?
Yeah.
You need to give these guys first team football and give them that confidence, you know.
Give them their wings.
I'm looking for Hansen to get some minutes on tour. Still mad that Haaland's cousin in Norway said that he's the best player he's played with in Norway and Austria. So Hansen, he's the attacking midfielder, isn't it? The number 10 who played in the cup final for the youths last season. We saw him got some minutes. Yeah, we saw him got some minutes. He's a very intelligent player. Got good IQ for his age group anyway. Let's move on. This is just rumours. Moses, Salcido, and I've got to change the spelling, but Rice still options. So Salcido looks like going Chelsea, maybe. They missed out on the Sporting Lisbon.
I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Chelsea getting linked with these players. They just spent £100 million on Enzo Fernandez.
Yeah.
As a central midfielder. They're now going to get Caicedo for 70 million. And when our club is moaning about FFP.
So don't they have to sell players? And also they're signing players on like long-term contracts, sort of 7-8 year contracts. Is that sort of
so that's helped the whole thing then, has it?
I believe so. I don't know the true details of it, but I think they're trying to find a way out of it. They're going to have to sell some players, haven't they? They've got so many players brought in. Even in the January transfer window, they brought some players in. Again, you think, where are these guys going to play? When we played them the other day, they had two black brothers playing for them. I can't remember their names, African names. I was thinking, where do these guys come from? They come through the youth, but I realised they signed them. One from PSV, and or maybe from Dutch League, maybe Feyenoord, or PSV maybe. And the other guy, remember they bought a guy from Derby that we were interested in a few years ago. So they've got so many people on the books. But what do you think about Salcido? Because if we don't get Rice, because Rice is being linked with Arsenal at the moment.
I think he's gonna go. I think he's gonna go to Arsenal. To be fair, I think he's gonna go to Arsenal.
Is that because we're messing about with our ownership? If we
no, I don't even think. I think they went in early. They knew Xhaka was leaving.
Yeah,
he plays in the position that Xhaka plays in. That's how I would look at it. He's a straight replacement for Xhaka. Right. And I think he's going to be their number one target. I think they put all of their eggs in that specific basket. If we had gone in there at the same time, then maybe things would be different. But I think they're too far down the line with that one. And Caicedo, he's going to be linked with everybody.
Why?
Everybody.
Why?
He's class. He's class.
Okay.
He's class. Even when we were linked with him with Ollie, I'm sure it was me and Matthew Bassett.
Yeah.
I'm sure me and Matthew Bassett had a chat about, because maybe it wasn't. I'm sure it was Matthew Bassett. And we were saying that he's a good player. He really is a good player. We could have got him for 6-7 million. And now, you see what he's worth and what we can get. But I said, we've got to do this. It's not my money. It's not my money.
But this is where I say that Salcido is like 20 years old, same age as some of our good midfielders. The difference is he's had Premier League experience, and suddenly his value's gone up. What about Hanibal? What about Savage and Iqbal? If they were coming in from a different team and had this experience, like we're looking at Evan Ferguson at Brighton. Oh my God, look at this new hot property. But maybe we've got guys in our academy. If they had the experience of playing in top level or had more game time at Man United, for example, they would look hot property too. You have to give these youngsters game time.
I understand that, but you've got to look at Ten Hag's thing was his mission was to get us into the top four.
Yeah.
Maybe next season, the fact that we are in the Champions League means that he can play weaker teams or lesser players in the Coca-Cola. In the EFL Cup and the FA Cup, because those won't necessarily be the priority. This year, he had to win something. He went out there and he wanted to. Maybe next season it will be he wants to do well, and you know what I mean. Maybe his focus will be different, and they will get that game time.
Okay, interesting. That I think he should go somewhere like Coventry, says Yank. Those are going to be fighting to get promoted back in the Prem. So a competitive. It's all about making a good loan move, isn't it? You got a lot of times you mess up, and they come back halfway through the season. Like Lurd, a couple of times, he's not really been established on loan, even though he had a spell at QPR. But we need to have proper loan moves for these guys. Do you think Green would return one day? There's news coming out that they're going to go on TV and give a public relation talk, a bit like Tyson and Robin Gibbons, him and his missus on the sofa, making up and let everyone say everything's all right now, because that's the only thing I think it comes down to. We hear news all the time, but we don't like to discuss anything about that. We're a more stable team at this point. It's like a safety net, exactly. And press the like button. Yeah, guys, press the like button. Do us a favor, press like, because we're going to sign out now. You got any more news, Mr. B? You heard anything on the grapevine?
I think that's, my memory is bad. Maybe I did have something 30 seconds ago. And it's complete.
It's completely good. In the Middle East.
Is it?
Yeah,
he said no.
Well, yeah, he's apparently said no. He doesn't want to go to the Middle East just yet.
Yeah, look, the good thing about the Middle East now is these players, the Prem at one stage was the cash cow. That's where all the old guys came to make money.
Yes.
The Middle East will be that. China had their one, they took Fellaini and whoever else they took. So, yeah, you know what? Hopefully we'll have a few older players who want to go, and they want to go for some Middle Eastern money. Great.
Some really good comments coming in, guys. Appreciate you. Welcome back, Yank. Good to see you. Anthony Herbert, Double A, Big T, everyone else who's contributed today. Really appreciate you guys. Mr. B, Anthony Herbert saying Mr. B reckons Arsenal win the league next season. No, he doesn't. Surely not.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Stop that, Anthony Herbert. Bring your brother back. I don't know what he's done with him. He's not tuning in anymore, but you seem to come on trying to rib us all the time. What's on tomorrow? We're going to be back tomorrow, won't we? No previews anymore. So we'll just a lot of transfer talk. A lot of
I'm sure we'll find something to talk about.
Yeah, and we were going to do like a Premier League or end of season review or sort of rating to see Player of the Year, young player.
We need to get that in.
Most improved.
We need to get that in.
I'd like to know what you think. I've got my list because I've prepared my list already.
I've got a list.
You're going to be shocked by my list, Mr. B.
Okay, maybe Thursday. Maybe we do it on Thursday.
Okay. What do you guys think then? Player of the Year, most improved player, young player of the year, blooper of the year, goal of the year, and get out of here of the year. What's it say? We at our club we had an award for late guy of the year, the one who always turns up late. We didn't have longest in the shower, like Mr. B was saying with Kim. That would be me, by the way. But yeah, there's a few. Anyway, let's sign out. We've had enough, guys. Thanks for tuning in, Mr. B. Once again, I'll see you tomorrow.
Definitely, right.
We'll be here all week, guys. So from myself and Monday Juma,
me, Mr. B.
we're signing out. Thanks, guys. Good night.